You feel the core of your being shift as the source makes room for a divine presence. Mr. Ben Daggers has reached enlightenment. Good evening, everybody. How the devil are we? Yes, we're here. I am in the alien playfield staging area. Let's do this. We're a little early anyway. Doesn't the raid, I don't think, starts till 5? But I scared. Oh, sorry. Am I a bit loud? I can't tell. Have a look on. How loud am I? How loud am I? That's not bad. Sounds about right. Should be okay. Yes, we're all here. Yes, indeed. We'll do that as well while we're about it. So yes, we're all here. A Saturday good. Saturday has been alright. Oh, you meant Saturday Hodor. Yeah, it's the Saturday Hodor. So yeah, which one do they start with? Click to join. Join the raid. Yeah, get in early if the raid's due to start. Sector 35, 28, okay. Authorization to enter the battlefield. Get the permission, 35. Goodbye. Authorization. Get them all, just in case. 28. Goodbye. And 13. I scared you then. Well, I apologise. Zinzig, welcome to the stream. And 13 was last. So there we go. We've got all the missions for there. All done and dusted. I'll probably be hopping team while various raid leaders sort themselves out. Let's head on down, see what we have. $35 first. So I don't know if we're going to see Savik or we're going to see anybody, Mahalik or any of those. I don't know if they're doing the Saturday raid. They'll probably do the Sunday raid. I don't know if they're doing the Saturday one. Remains to be seen. While we're stood around, I think I'll do a bit of rebuff, yes. Yeah, I just thought, well, if I'm going to do this raid anyway, to earn some Hodor points, etc., then, you know, why not broadcast it as well? Even though I didn't put it on the schedule. It doesn't seem to matter, it still works. Oh, there's a bling. What was the bling? Just Kiev is now following. Thank you for the follow. Yes, indeed. More the merrier. Just watch France. Oh, you're watching the rugby. Nice. Yeah, I went out. Excuse me. I went out for a run. Before we get all the cold weather tonight and tomorrow. And probably for the remainder of the week as well. So I thought I'll get a good run in, and then the rest of the days I can just do an extended walk if it's dry enough, which I think it will be. It'll just be rather cold. It's something I need to keep doing these days, is maintain the fitness. Otherwise, with all this sedentary lifestyle, you're going to end up horribly unfit, which isn't good. Beast from the East 2.0. We used to just call it winter, though, you know. Cold easterly winds coming in. Yeah, if it's a westerly wind, it's coming off the Atlantic, and usually means that the jet streams north of us, which means we get fine weather, or just wet weather. And we've barely had any snow in the country for 10 years, so, you know, apart from mountains and the such like. So yeah, I just thought I may as well come along and stream Age, rather than just do this without talking to anybody. Thought it might be more fun. Why not? Alright, that's all my buffs done, so pop that back and put that back. Et voila. Yeah, I think I've still got this rather nice helmet on for a little more crit damage. How's everybody else doing? Zinzig, is it snowing and whatnot where you are, or what's occurring over there? Don't know if Sav and the gang are even online. Look, are they on Discord? Savik is idle and Mihalik is offline at the moment. So yeah, they might show up for the actual raid. I don't know. We shall have to see. But we can have fun with it anyway. So yeah, the point of these is literally that, you know. Earn points so you can find... Well, my reason for doing it, one, it's fun to do big raids. Not sure what the frame rate's going to be like. I have discovered, however... See, what I used to do before was have Google Chrome open to look at the chat, because the font size was a better size for me. And also you can change the font size. Because I couldn't quite figure out how to do that in Streamlabs OBS. And then when I figured it out, I don't need it. What I found is I get about 10 frames a second more without Chrome running, because it's such a resource hog. So instead of like 10-15 frames a second with all these bodies here, you can see now, even running the stream, I'm still getting nearly 30 frames a second, which is a lot better. Still got like 25 minutes, I think, until the raid actually starts, if it starts on time. But my thing is, if it's like every job I've ever had, if your shift starts at 9 o'clock, then you're there at least at 9:15 or earlier, you know. At least that's the way I've always been. There's always crap to do. Oh, my chat is not scrolling because I moved it. There we go. Someone called Silly Cow. Okay. I have 1,776 NCUs. Looking up here. Oh no. Are they going to be filled up? Well, probably with everyone. Someone's already given me composite Moochums and Moochum's neural interface web, which was EverQ with 3 Qs on the end. He caught me on the platform in ICC, and I think he said, "Oh hey hi," and buffed me. And it's sort of like you can't really buff people back on a keeper because all your buffs are sort of a team thing. So it is a bit odd, but yeah, I always feel like I'm being impolite, you know. It's like, here, have some buffs, and then I'm like, yeah, kind of thing, you know. I've lost my mouse. Oh, there it is. $779 thus far. I'm in team with an Angie because I've got flecked sympathetic reactive cocoon. Lopnik, hey, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. That's why I want to change Shady from... No, all you got to do is get the Shade tier 1 armor and just walk around with that in social. You'll never get asked for EMF buffs ever again. Because I'll go, oh, that's a Shade. Hence why I made this character in the tier armor, because I thought, yeah, no one thinks you're an enforcer when you're wearing this armor. Morning, streaming in the morning. Oh, it would have been nighttime his time, wouldn't it? Sorry I missed it. I haven't seen an early morning in a long time, I'm afraid. Hate to admit, but yeah. Cool, man. Very cool. Just keep at it. Keep it regular. Keep the consistency. 8:45 AM there. Yeah, I used to be pretty regular. I'd be up at 7 AM most days, naturally. Just, boop, I'm awake, you know, even if it's still dark out. I'd still be up at like 7 and potter around and then get out and have a run or something, and, you know. But with this whole lockdown thing, it's like going to bed later and later and later and sleeping in, you know. There's nothing to do in the morning. There's, you know, no, even like now with the school's been closed, you don't have to get up and look at the kids. Although saying that, my lad's 15 in a few days, so yeah, it's not like he needs much sorting out in the mornings. It's only when he can't find something, you know. Other than that, he's pretty much independent, really. And I am enjoying a nice hot cup of tea. Yeah, we're starting today at like t-shirt weather, but by tomorrow it'll be below freezing, so still technically t-shirt weather if it's dry, but you know. Still wants to ask mum and dad to do everything. Yeah. He's pretty good. He'll wash his own clothes in the machine now. All that kind of stuff, you know. He's starting to become kind of like, he'll iron his own shirts because he wants them done right, and you know, he's hit that age. Plus he's in the Air Cadets, and you know, he always had a lot of discipline at home, and he's quite happy. I mean, that he hasn't done that the whole year, but being in like Air Cadets, because he wants to go like have a military career. It's like he hasn't got that from me. But yeah, he's, you know, it's just something he wants to do right now, so won't do him any harm doing all the training and everything else. I mean, he might sign for a couple of years, try it, and not quite like it. You don't know. Yeah, get your own water. Yeah, he's a big lad as well. He's nearly as tall as me now. I think he will be taller than me eventually, though. You got to think, like, guys tend to keep growing, don't they? Girls sort of stop at 13, 14 usually. Don't get any taller, but guys can... they can grow a whole foot between 14 and 20. You want it, you get it. Well, yeah, exactly. No, he's pretty good. He will cook his own food even, you know. There's a lot of people on here. I think I've got all the teams pasted across so you can see them. It is a thing. Also, normally I don't start my streams till about like 6 o'clock. So it is a bit odd doing them at this time of day as well. I think people are more used to doing other stuff at this time of day than watching me, and I don't normally do Saturdays, so there's that as well. I'm going to ping Sav, let her know. Doing Hodor. Trollhammer. Britman bot raiding, I see. Hey, Hammer. Is that Hammer? Hammer I was talking to on Dark's channel? Or, I don't know. Because everyone's got different bloody names everywhere, haven't they? I mean, you know. I can't keep up. I keep it simple. It's Kalos 2 everywhere. So you always know it's me. There's another guy called Hammer that's usually on that GS guy's streams. But I don't know if he's Hammer in chat though. He's usually not really talking in chat typing. He's usually on his Discord chat. You can tell it's Hammer because he sounds like Sam Elliott. He's got that voice. I was encouraging him to get into voice acting or whatever because damn, he's got the pipes. Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, I've got a low voice, but this guy's the full, like, Sam Elliott, Smokey Bear voice, you know? I heard him talking, I went, do you ever do any, like, voice acting? No, why? I said, well, do you know who Sam Elliott is? Yeah. He said, oh, yeah. I said, you sound exactly like him. Yeah. Oh yeah, voice actors absolutely are acting, you know. I mean, I got into Claudia Black watching Farscape, which I absolutely love Farscape. It's nuts, but I really do love it. But it's supposed to be. He's in a different galaxy with aliens and stuff, and they don't all look like an actor with a bit of makeup on. They look weird, you know. And all the rest of it. So yeah, it's good. But then she's done tons and tons of voice acting as well. Tony J doesn't ring a bell. We're switching teams around here. That one has one of the lowest voices I've ever heard. Yeah, some people are serious bass. I'm a low baritone, which is like a radio kind of voice, and then real basses start with people like Sam Elliott and stuff like that. Who else had that kind of voice? People think James Earl Jones, but he's not. He's a baritone as well. Voiced the Elder God in... I never really tried Soul Reaver. I think I tried the first sort of 3D version they did on a demo, where you were running around with no face, but with a cloth over where your face would be and something, and it barely ran on my geriatric system as it was then, in the 90s or whatever. Might have been later than that, I'm not sure. But yeah, no, I never really played that one. Well worth a playthrough. I'll give it a go. There are a lot of games out there that don't get a lot of attention. Morgan Freeman, yeah. Oh, he's got a brilliant speaking voice, yeah. Is it a bit janky on modern systems though? Oh, alright. I wish I had a lower voice. Go to singing lessons, you'll get one. Straight up. Go to singing lessons, learn how to breathe, how to use your voice, and your voice generally just from exercise will get lower. And even if you don't go to singing lessons, just sing. You know, you're just driving in your car, sing along with the radio. And what you'll find is your voice will naturally get lower. Going to singing lessons helps though, because it teaches you how your voice actually works and where resonance is and stuff like that. Well, no one's going to know if you're in, if you're in the car driving to work or wherever on your own. Just you and your voice, I'm no singer really. I can sing backup vocals and stuff like that. I can harmonise, but that's about it. But doing lots of that made my voice get a lot deeper. It was never that high to begin with though. It's always been roughly this pitch, but it did get deeper. It got a lot louder from when I was a teenager. I was doing kind of like flea markets, like market trading. Sky Cannon will know what I'm on about. Like a market trader. I did a bit of that in the summer times, for a bit of extra cash and stuff. Just sold stuff like socks and underwear, stuff like that. But you've got to have a loud voice on the market so nobody can hear what the hell you're saying because it's noisy. And that's just using your voice a lot, so you end up with more resonance and projection because that's just how your voice has to work. Yeah, well, someone sees me across the street, they'll wave, and I'll shout to them, "How you doing?" Like the whole street will look round, and I haven't shouted, it's just loud. It's, being able to project rather than shout, two different things. Your voice really is what you make it. I mean, there's certain genetics and things like that as well, but you hum in the shower. Yeah. Anything, the more you use your voice, the more flexible it becomes. It's a muscle. Your vocal cords are muscles, so the more you play with them, the more they can do. Yeah, well, a lot of people, when they talk, don't realise that they're using their voice in... incorrect is the wrong word, but they're using their voice in a less than normal way or less than optimal way. Like they're not allowing certain parts of their throat to come into play, or their breathing is wrong, or they constantly talk in their head voice without realising that that's what they're doing. And it's not until you go to singing lessons that someone that can observe you correctly can tell you that, you know, actually you're singing with your head voice. Your actual voice is here. Your prime voice is there, and they'll help you get to it. It's how you subconsciously open different parts of the back of your throat and stuff like that. Frame rate is on the screen, 21, 20-ish. So it's like double what it was last time. And that's purely not running Chrome in the background. So that's a definite win. Yes, it is.
I mean, a lot of people would speak with their voice like this, so they're basically only using the very top of their throat and pinching their larynx, because it does give you more volume at certain frequencies, but it's not. And I think that this is just how their voice sounds, because this is the way they've always used it.
Whereas beneath that, if they relax their larynx and use the primary part of their vocal cords and breathe from their chest, then they sound like this. But yeah, this is it, you see. You'll notice that if you look at singers over a period of 10 years or so, from when they get started, let's say, to where they are now, and you watch an interview when they start, or one of their early interviews versus a recent one, you'll notice their speaking voice has gotten lower. It's because they're using their voice so much. How the hell did we get on with this? Oh yeah, we were talking about Hammer in his voice, but yeah, Hammer has a natural bass. That's pretty rare. There's plenty of baritones. Baritone is a tenor is like the average speaking voice, and a baritone is slightly lower than that. Well, I got two of the callers there. Up to 40 frames a second now, because there's fewer people. Yeah, that's the other thing. When you get enough people in Anarchy Online, because of the meshes and stuff, your client is waiting for the server to tell it what somebody's character is wearing before it can render it, even though what it's looking for. Female is, well, it can go from tenor to soprano normally, but there are exceptions. And we're off on the dot. It's good going, that, really, isn't it? Like Margaret Thatcher, that's a good example of someone who got vocal coaching. When she started, she used to speak in a very piercing voice like this, and then she got vocal coaching and learned to speak with the lower part of her voice, and suddenly she's speaking like this, but her voice definitely changed. When she was first elected as an MP, look at old news clips of her there, and then look at the news clips of her by the time she was in the running for Prime Minister back in the 80s. That's someone that's had vocal training. You can hear the control as well. She also had quite small, petite teeth and had those done as well. She went from having quite normal sized teeth and these really big gnashes. Rather, you know, these are the image makers, though, isn't it? You know. As the stream quality looks okay. Now this is me. I wake up in the morning. This is how I sound without thinking about it. Never worried about my voice talent lies in the strings. Did you play guitar, violin, cello, viola, bass? Hurdy-gurdy? Yeah, I studied music at the Musicians Institute in Londinium back in the day, back in the 90s. Went there and did the MI diploma thing. And then kind of ignored it ever since. I already knew how to play, I just wanted a diploma in music so I could communicate with other musicians. It was good. It was a good experience, though, MI, when you're around other people and seeing how they approach things in different ways and stuff. That was pretty cool. But yeah, it's a good idea to teach yourself. There's a few sort of technical things you will probably end up hurting your hands with, but other than that, you will approach it your own way and do your own thing, and that's always good. Definitely. Yeah, I think a lot of people make the assumption places like MI turn out shredders and stuff, but most people that went there became like jazz players and stuff. Just really understood music. What happened? What made it good for me was it made it easy. I could play with anyone because I could go. Have we got any sheets? You know, and then I just look at the sheet music and go, okay, and that was it. I knew the language we were all speaking, without having to go play there on this fret, and you know what I mean. Trade school, yeah, learn a trade. My trade, I learned TV engineering and electronic repair and stuff, but at the same time I was doing all that and then hated it, left it, mucked around in bands for a few years and then went, you know what, I'm going to London. And I did. That was back in the 90s though, so. I was in dozens of bands back then. I was in 3 different bands at once. That was hard, but it didn't seem weird at the time. If you could read, you get a lot more work if you could read. Yeah, I like wind instruments. I like saxophone. It's a great sounding piece of kit. Plus you got to meet some of your heroes as well at MI, which was good. Coolest guy there though was Ed Spate. Was our I took him for rhythmic dictation, which is understanding rhythms and how they're written and how they actually work. And he'd been guitarist for Ian Jury and the Blockheads and stuff like that. He was an absolute loon outside of school though. As soon as you were out of class, it was down the pub. White Swan and Cuckoo in Wapping. Used to sit there and get so drunk, and then walk along the Thames and get a bag of chips. He had a deep voice, Jesus. And some of the stories Ed Spate told me make your eyes water. He was a very cool guy though, really liked him. Yeah, and this is why I'm okay with my lad wanting to join the Air Force. I'm like, well, you know, I'm not going to tell you what to do or push against it or whatever. You've got to decide what's right for you, kind of thing, you know. Has a crit buff as well. It's kind of cool. Yay. Listening to my parents' teachers' school career advice on what to educate myself on. Well, yeah, your teachers only got so long to appraise you, haven't they? You know. And they may think they know you or know your strengths and weaknesses, but really, do they? I mean, sometimes, yeah, they do, but not always. They can have an estimation of what they think you're good at, etc., but it doesn't always, you know. Plus, people change as well. This is the other thing. People change and the world changes. The world I knew at 30 is not the world today. Very different place. I mean, the world I knew when I was 20 is... Poof. Well, I don't know. Depends on how your family life was, how well your parents know you. Also depends on how close you were. The closer you are, the more likely they are to have known you. So... it takes a while before you know yourself, so, you know. Not many people are completely self-possessed, you know, in their teens, are they? So... they think they are. But no. It's easier to see that when you know you've gone through it and you're on the other side of it going, well. Yeah, it should be yours alone, but you know, you do a lot of dumb crap when you're young as well. Because although you're emotionally... I mean, those are always the toughest years as well. Teenage, it's the worst years. Because you're emotionally independent. But you're not intellectually and financially independent. You haven't seen anything, you haven't been anywhere, you haven't done anything for yourself yet. So it's very difficult to know what's a good move, you know. It's just how it is. I mean, like, me at the age I am now, it's like, yeah, I look back, what would I do differently at 20? Now I'm 30 years older than that. You know, I'm 52 now. So I'm looking at my 20-year-old self, what would I do different? Well, so much. And I don't just mean, you know, like buying shares in Google and Apple or whatever. Although, yeah, I probably would do that. I'd quit smoking immediately, take better care of myself, rest more, eat better. Whole bunch of stuff that I should have done. All, you know, but didn't. What to tell your younger self? My God, it'd be a phone book worth of stuff. Savik, welcome to the stream. Good to see you, dear. How are you? Yes, I'm doing the Saturday Hodor and thought, well, you know what, I think I'll stream it as well, why not? Quit AO immediately. No. I don't regret AO at all. My perspective, I'm early, but the stream is even... Yeah, I didn't have one scheduled for tonight. I just thought I'd be... You know, I'm going to do Hodor anyway. Why don't I stream it? I was stood there literally contemplating, shall I just do Hodor then stream? And I thought, I might go on till 7 though. Might not have time. And I thought, well, you know what? I'll just start now. And this was like 4:30, so pretty bloody early, really. Oh, AO and the internet didn't exist when I was in school, really. I mean, the internet existed in the 90s, but not like now. We didn't have this sort of stuff, you know. The only experience I had with computers then was like, what did I know, BBC Micro, Commodore PET, Commodore 64, an Amiga, and then I can't remember what it was, this really early thing that ran DOS, so you could run Cubase on it. It was all music related, really. So yeah, Krukov, welcome to the stream. It's the Diablo 2 of the MMOs. I don't know. When did Diablo get started? Is it as old as Anarchy or older? Probably older, is it? I don't know. It was weird. My mate said, "Oh, is this science fiction game?" Because I'd not long finished playing Half-Life and Deus Ex, the first Deus Ex, and I absolutely loved that. And he said, "Oh, there's this online version where never-ending missions and all the rest of it." Was it 2000? Wasn't it before Deus Ex? Oh, Diablo was 2000, so it's like a year older. Yeah. Yeah, and I was like, yeah, this because it's far too cool. Yeah, if it launched in 2000, it's a year older. Yeah, because the beta for AO was before 2000. And my friend was, "Oh, you got to try this, but you've got to download it." AO was, yeah, and I was like, "Well, what is it? What is it?" You know, and he was trying to tell me about it, and saying, "No, you've got to play it to see it and all that." And the way of videos, but back then you had to sort of let the video buffer for like 20 minutes before you could watch the bloody 5-minute video or whatever it was, you know, on Real Player from some news site or something. Kind of nuts. And yeah, I saw a few bits and pieces that had been on German and Norwegian TV or something like that. Yeah, do you remember Real Player? Having to get Real Player installed and working on your system to stream video. It's before VP8, VP9 and stuff like that. But that's what those original videos used to be on. And they were terrible. They were like 144p or 240p if you were lucky. And terrible audio on them. But yeah, used to watch those and stuff. Napster Kid. I was a going to the record shop and listening to music kid. big vinyl black things with music on them and artwork that you could look at and read. Yeah, that's how I discovered bands, going to music shops and record stores. And magazines telling you about new bands and stuff. And John Peel, you know, would play records, sometimes even at the wrong speed and not be sure whether or not it was supposed to be at that speed or not. I was a LimeWire kid and Winamp kid player, yeah. 240 video, yeah. Pre-YouTube, pre-Facebook, pre-Twitter. And pre-bloody internet. People had to fax things all the time. Businesses are always like 10 years behind technology. Because back in the early 2000s, businesses, instead of using emails and PDFs, they were still buying fax machines and toner and all the stuff for all of that. Big black floppy things. Vinyl ain't floppy, my friend. Unless it's one of those comes in a magazine ones. That's not vinyl. That's printed plastic. Yeah, we had record stores and such. Penny Lane Records in Chester, used to go there and buy stuff. And then in London they were massive as well. Spend all day thumbing through in a record store listening to stuff, and then a track had come on you'd never heard before. And you'd be like, oh, who the hell are these guys, you know? And you go and ask, who's this on that's playing now, and all that kind of stuff. Tower Records in London, yeah. The old HMV in London. Wise Guy FSB. Oh, you know the device you got from Nivetra, Wise Guy? I don't think I've got it on me. You got like a key that looks like a bit like a targeting scope thing. You just click that and it gives you the pass to any of the areas. I think you Brits held on to vinyls longer than... We've never let go of them. Truth be known, in Britain, people still buy vinyl now. It has a different sound. It's not digitised, it's still analogue. Although if it's new music that's been recorded digitally, then does it really make a difference? Yeah, it'll say Nivetra key something something, and you just right click it in your inventory and it buffs you with a thing to, or you know, a pass to get inside any of them. You won't have deleted it, I don't think. It's a no drop. You probably put it in a bag in a bank somewhere. That's what I did. You're probably nostalgic for 8-tracks. No, that was a terrible tape format. Reel-to-reel high-speed tape was much better. Way more data information. You've got to remember, as soon as you digitise a piece of music, you've lost half of what was there to begin with. We experience sound in analogue. Our brains are analogue. Sound waves are analogue. And in order for them to be digitised, they've got to be broken up. I remember 8-tracks in my dad's... What did he have? A Lancia. Italian Lancia car. And that had an 8-track player in it. But yeah, that was not a good tape format at all. I mean, it worked, and coming through little pokey car speakers in a environment like a car, it was pretty good. But no, reel-to-reel tape players on 1/4 inch or bigger tape, much better, especially the high speed. The faster the tape's running, the more information it can hold. So yeah. But there's a lot to be said for the tactility of certain formats. Like a CD was just really, yeah. I mean, a CD is only 16-bit, 44/100 hertz, and the amount of extra harmonics that are created. They said, "Oh, it's a sharper digital sound." It wasn't. There's a lot of unnatural sounding upper harmonics in digitized music, especially that kind. An 8-track recorder, using compact cassette? You're only using the left and right hand channels of each side of the cassette on that tiny little 1/8 of an inch cassette tape. I had a little 4-track recorders like that. You know, the big 3-inch reels of tape that used to record on in studios? Yeah. I mean, sure, it had hiss and stuff, but if you go to a concert, guess what? So do the amplifiers. Well, every video you watch of me, you can hear me playing guitar on. Any video that starts with the intro music, that's my guitar. That's me recording myself at home. I think I've got a bunch of videos of me noodling on guitar. I've got one of the day I got my first proper Les Paul back in 2012. And it's just 9 minutes of just randomly playing. The intermission music, no, that's a track called Panama Hat, which I found on, like, if I think you can everyone can get to it, but if you're in the YouTube partner program, they have copyright free music now, and they've had it for a few years actually. So you can get soundtracks for your videos where you're never going to be stung for copyright because Google themselves own them. So it's licensed through them. So as long as you credit them, you can use that piece. And it was just one I found there called Panama Hat. It's a bit of Dixieland, you know. It's cool. I just thought it sounded good because the transition from the vocal range that the guy's singing in to my speaking voice is quite similar. So it's not jarring when it comes in or I come back on, kind of thing, you know. So I just picked it because I thought it was quite sort of comical as well, you know. Let's not take this seriously. This is a Kalos 2 stream after all, you know. Yeah, I think you can find it on YouTube. You can have it for, it's like holding on a phone music. Yeah, that's it. That's all it's for. I mean, the game's still running. Yeah, very whimsical. It's meant to be, yeah. Yeah, even big commercials will use them. Yeah, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of them on the YouTube audio library. But I don't know if everyone with a YouTube account can see the audio library. I can. But I've been in the partner program for a very long time. I didn't even. I had videos on Google Video. So before YouTube even existed, Google had something called Google Video, and I put a couple of videos of the band up there. And then in 2007 or whenever it was, Google bought out YouTube and said your videos on Google Video can be transferred to a new account on YouTube because we've bought YouTube. Do you want to transfer your videos because we're taking Google Videos down? And I was like, yeah, okay. And I transferred the videos over. And then a week later I got an email saying, you're invited to become a YouTube partner. I was like, what does that mean? Well, if we run ads on your videos, you'll get the money. And I was like, yeah, okay. Oh, we've got a ding. You feel the core of your being shift as the source makes room for a divine presence. Volkmar has reached enlightenment. Incompetech. They're everywhere. Yeah, that's true, actually, yeah. You can well believe it. I've listened to lots of the various, you know, I don't need anything from these. I've listened to so many of these free royalty-free tracks in the music library on in YouTube that when they come on, I can tell in other people's videos. You know, so I'm watching some big YouTuber and I suddenly go, I know this one. Are we leaving? I think we're leaving, aren't we? Soto Mahoney has subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 5 months. Welcome to the stream and thank you very much for the resub. Much appreciated. Am I running the right way, guys? There's the Skelly. Why is everyone calling him Pants? Is that his character's name in game? Soto Mahoney. Hello, Franz. Yes, you're among friends here. Welcome. We've just done Sector 35. There's a lot of ads here, but hey. There you go, look, not using Chrome, I've got like 20 odd frames a second instead of only 10 like we had last time. Isn't that amazing how much resources Chrome sucks up? So tempting as it may be to have a you know, some program running on YouTube in the background while playing AO, it seems to suck up a lot of resources. And the only reason I ever had Chrome running in the background anyway was so I could read chat at a glance, because it was, you can change the font so easily on a browser, you know, Control Plus, and it just zoom in and make it bigger. And that's all I did, just so I could glance very quickly and read it. And then I found out that you could do it inside Streamlabs OBS, so I did. Yeah, there was Rubicar 1, which became, after the competition, was called Atlantean, and Rubicar 2 became Rimmer. And those were the two ships that first landed on Rubicar in the lore. If you look up the lore, full automatic targeting within your NCU. Do I need full automatic targeting? Are people just taking the mick? No, I do want it. I do want the full automatic targeting. Everybody step now. Bum, 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 bum. Everyone got up to the gate. Yeah, Rimmer was Rubicar 2. And what was Rubicar 3, the German server? It was Die Volt or something like that. Gaming Loose. What heresy is this? Gaming Lore. There is a storyline and lore to Anarchy Online. It was a 4-year story. Rubicar 2 best RK2 best RK. Yeah, okay. We all get a bit tribalistic over the server we used to play on. I started on Rubicar 1. I did have tunes on Rubicar 2 and 3, but nothing of note. I think I just put a placeholder character there. So, like, just so no one else would impersonate me or something. Rubikar 2 always bigger? No. It was launched after Rubikar 1. Some people went there, some people stayed, some people played on both, but it was never bigger. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter now, we're all on the same server. My wife says it was average. Yeah, well, I got into the whole guilds and everything early on, so that made it so that you kind of like had that guild loyalty and you made friends in the guild, so you just stuck with wherever they were at, you know. Proc reminder. Yes, indeed. That's what we like. Just hitting whatever the raid leader is telling us to hit. No, bit of lag. A little bit of lag there. I don't like the lags. Yeah, a little bit laggy. I remember being a silly newt for most of that and went to clan though in the end. Yeah, the token boards are a pretty persuasive argument mechanically. Although now, newt can get something pretty close if you're paid. You know the upgrade version of the board? You can wear the upgrade component. And also, you can upgrade the, like defensive, offensive HUDs. You can upgrade those. I ain't going through. The Engi's not gone through. Now the Engi's gone through, I'm going through. I'm not dying on the Darwin fence. We played Omni most of the time, but only mute now. Well, you say that Omni life, but if you go to all the Omni cities, they're like, apart from like Rome Red or Rome Blue, wherever the mission agency is, it's bloody empty. There's no one there. They're all in Borealis. It used to be you'd go to Omni N and there'd be thousands of people there, you know, or whatever. Hundreds. Well, back in the day, yeah, probably thousands. Yeah, Tier used to confuse the hell out of people, where the hell all the shops were, and to be fair, they are fairly confusing. Until you sort of learn where they're at. Borry was always kind of like the popular in-between place, yeah. Yeah, they used to be popular, yeah. But nowadays, like I had a little Omni Toon and that was like I hardly ever saw anybody there. Tier was worse before they redid it. Oh, when the Wampers were on top of the Central Fair Trade, yeah. That's why they put the grid exit for Tier. They put an extra one outside Tier. That was so to stop the server crashing there so often. Because Tier would crash an awful lot. It was funny when it did crash though, if you were outside it, flying your way back from Temple, before the Temple. You used to go to Temple of the Three Winds, used to be the platform with no dungeon. And you were just like level 40s killing the level 60 NPCs there. It was quite a tough area to farm for XP, but teams used to go there to do it. And You know, you go, oh, I've got all this XP, I want to go save back in tier. And tier would be down. And you could go through the fake wall into where tier should be, and it was just like empty ground. It was really weird. Yeah. What they should have done is kept the sloob accounts, the free-to-play Shadowland account. They should definitely have kept that. They'd have kept more of the player base as well. Because there's still a lot of stuff you can do as a sloob, you know. Yeah, with the free-to-play version in 2005, brought a lot of people to the game. I guarantee you a lot of people that started with Froob, I would say probably a third of them ended up being paid. Probably no more than a third. No, you know, only Funcom know. They're the only people with the actual empirical data. But you're one of them. I started, there was no such thing. It was like you either pay for the game or you don't play it. So yeah, but I loved it then. I loved it, you know. And it, for me, it was my first MMO. So I kind of like compared everything else that's come along since to Anarchy, and it's like the actual gameplay and stuff I just prefer, and the world I prefer, and the skill system, the look of it. Even though, yes, it's dated looking, but the overall design and stuff is pretty awesome. Cyberpunk kind of feel like the original Cyberpunk, not necessarily Cyberpunk 2077, which actually, yeah, I have done a third playthrough. I've done every single ending you can get, just out of curiosity, and for a bit of a laugh, I started messing around with the with mods and stuff on it. Had quite a good time with those. Like make it, you know, starting the game with a level 50 character with all the stuff and whatever. Yeah, I did computer fairs when they were a thing, you know, before online shopping destroyed them. Where you would buy computer components and stuff at semi-trade fairs that were open to the public. We used to sell cables there. Used to make a lot of money. Because you got to think, like a standard USB cable, if you bought a container full, it took about 6 weeks from ordering it to getting them. You were paying like 10 pence for one cable and selling them for £3 at a computer fair. And places like Dixon's and Curry's were selling the same cable for like a tenner. So we were selling them at the fairs at about £1 per metre length of cable. We did every kind of cable there was back then. And me coming from like a TV and electronics sort of background, it made it really easy to do the job. And I mean, peer-to-peer networking was still a thing then. So we were doing that while AO was on. And he was madly into Dark Age of Camelot. And I told him, and we used to take the mick, I used to call it, what was it? Yeah, I said, are you still playing Dark Age of Camelot? He well and truly saw his backside. It was funny though. Dark Age is free now. What happened to Guild Wars? I bought that because it was because they said, oh, it's going to be great, it's going to be great, it's a free game, and yada yada, and I was like, okay. You know, so. But I never quite got into it, you know. I sort of played it a little bit and then just went, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is my thing. There was another one that came along I don't even know if it's still going though. It had orcs and stuff in it. Can't remember now. It was before WoW. It's before WoW came along. I can't think of the name of it. Rift, I don't know. No, not Warhammer, no. No, it wasn't EverQuest. EverQuest was before Anarchy. Ultima Online, no, I can't think. It was like a, you know, it was like more fantasy than anything, but with factions and stuff in it. It was quite interesting. Ultima is before EverQuest. Yeah, I think it was, yeah. Now, this came after Anarchy, but I think it did begin with an L, but I do remember sort of playing it, but it had player collision in it as well, so you could troll people outside of town by getting a gang of people together all standing shoulder to shoulder, and then other people just couldn't get inside the town. It used to happen too much. Yeah, it launched after Anarchy. We all went off to try it, and I kind of like tried it for about a week, and then I was like, nah, I'm done with this. 2 out of 4 welcome to the stream, by the way. Cables are overpriced if... Yeah, well, this is it, yeah. Retail stores. Maplin used to be quite good on them. Radio Shack, but you didn't get very high quality cables. In the digital age, it's a little better, but... If you bought proper cut cable and made your own, you always got decent stuff from Maplin. Lineage, yeah, that could have been it. Could have been Lineage, yeah. Yeah, we were playing orcs and stuff, so I remember that. And getting a big sword from a quest, and everybody had the same one. And 1996. No, that's, like I say, it was after. Was there a Lineage 2 in the early 2000s? Yeah, Lineage sounds familiar, but was Asheron's Call as well? Could have been, yeah, maybe. But yeah, I'll Google it after the boss here. Did they do a like a Lineage 2? Was that a thing? Because it was definitely after Anarchy. That I do remember. Yeah, I think it was Lineage 2 maybe I played then. It looked okay. It was a good looking game for its time, you know. Remember making a ton of apple sauce in Asheron's Call. Asian MMO. Could have been. I don't know. We played it. It was on a Euro server. So yeah. It's difficult to know if the time I find a cocoon. bloody thing's already gone. Korean. Was it Korean? Yeah, it could have been. But they had like servers for whoever, you know. I mean, they're there for the business of making dollars, aren't they? So it's in there. If there's a potential player base in Germany, then they're going to make a German server, you know. I like that the aliens in this game look like aliens and not humans with a... yeah, true. That's what I liked about... Farscape is even because they used a lot of puppetry and stuff like that. It was Henson, the guy who brought you Yoda and whatnot. The puppetry is more realistic because the puppeteer's doing it with years and years of experience of making something seem alive. More convincing than modern CGI in a lot of instances. Aeon, or however you pronounce that. That rings a bell, but I don't think I ever played it. Twitchy aggro at the end, isn't he? I won't be bidding on anything, so yes. Let's have a very quick look then. So, Lineage 2, I think it was. October 2003. Yeah, that was it. Lineage 2. Microsoft Windows developer NC Soft. Unreal Engine 2.5. Yeah, that was an early Unreal Engine, but a really good one. Apparently it's been remastered. It sounds cool. Yeah, you will find a lot of attacks, MA attacks and such, in the weapon shop in Borealis, facing the grid. Also, there's the ones from instances, like if you're Lobby, there's two. There's a heal one and a attack one in Temple of the Three Winds, which is made up of the books. There's a guide on who drops which books, because you need like 6 pages for one and 5 for another. And you take them out to the hermit in a weird little enclosure in the desert off to the southeast of the temple, have them converted into actual attacks from the books. And then there's another one set in Inner Sanctum, and then there's some more in the new Temple of the Three Winds, the 201 Plus Temple, the Hybe Temple, I think we're calling it, or something like that. Anyway, been farming the books. Yeah, I can imagine it is, because farming from the low temple, you can keep running out in and out and getting different instances to get different spawns and different drop chances and stuff, whereas with the new temple you can't really do that. Got to be in a raid. You need more than, you can't just run to one mob and kill them to get the book. You need help, you know, and all that. So I mean, once you pass the first boss, I suppose you could farm the corridors and the first main hall. So if you got... No, second boss. If you kill off the second boss, you could keep farming that area, I guess. They respawn in there? Do they respawn in the new temple? I think they do, but not as quick, if they do. I'm not sure. Savik probably knows the answer to that. The regular mobs don't drop anything, though. Only the bosses drop stuff in the new temple, so I would guess that, yes, it is those. Although the Exarchs and stuff drop books, so maybe, I don't know. But, like, your generic cultists and stuff, they don't drop anything. Yeah, people selling it on loot. Right? I don't know how good the attacks are. I don't know if they're an alternative. That's the nice thing about these new dungeons is they are, they're a reasonable alternative to the current cookie. I mean, like for instance, right now, I'm going around with this unstable damage augmentation device, add all death for 50, and also wearing that, so it's more of a tanky setup, But that's from Pyramid at Home. But from the temple, bang. Obsidian Desecrator, best two-edged weapon endgame really that there is. It's got a massive crit. 666. Yes, it's got one of those crits. But yeah, Exarchs can drop the new Exarch cloak. I can't remember if any of the other sort of... Because you've got cultists, then you've got the dudes in the white coats who are like... They will... complete heal themselves. They've got massive heal delta as well. Then there's Exarchs, Reverends and stuff. Yeah, there you go. Savik says, everything I know about the drops is in my AOU guide. AOU being Anarchy Online Universe, and if you don't know what that is, then you need to go and bookmark it immediately, as it is the Bible for Anarchy Online. Yes, it is. It has the best guides for Anarchy Online in the world. Yeah, see, I don't need to be in that instance to do all that, so yeah. Now I farmed all my cores with Savik and Mahalik and a few other people. AO Bible in human form. Savik. Yeah, pretty much. Savik's like me, though. There's so much to know in a game like Anarchy Online that it's really difficult to have it all on the tip of your tongue, so to speak. You probably do remember it, but there is literally so much of it that even logging in every day and playing every day, you forget things. You have to go back and check. Are we all stepping in? I'm guessing we're stepping in, are we? Yeah, but every quest, etc. for everybody, it's all there, Anarchy Online Universe. And if you prefer to watch something being done, then I've got like 1,700 videos comprising, I think there's about 100 plus daily mission guide videos, and then the quests and stuff tend to be done in the Let's Build, of which there's been 10. So YouTube subscriber voted characters, so they pick breed, class, gender, etc. and the head, and then I play it until it's 220 and pretty decked out, like what this keeper is. Although this one is an exception to that, as it was a dedication to one guy called Brutal 1966, who I don't know if is with us anymore or not. Not heard from him in at least 3 months, so I don't know. So many bits and pieces. Yeah, well, when I was doing these alphas last week, I completely forgot about VTE eggs, and I've got like 6 pairs of the bloody things scattered around my various characters. I was just trying to get the last piece in, and someone went. I'm so sad we haven't seen him. Yeah, well, he's an older guy as well, so yeah, he was going through chemo, which it absolutely is no joke whatsoever, and he said, I'm not going to be very mobile, etc. So please, 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 can you do a keeper let's build, because that's what I wanted on the last one. So I just made a new let's build for him, and this is that character now, you know. So there you go. But no, I've not heard from him. Hopefully he's doing okay, because you know, we started all this when hang on, oh, an easy way to check, isn't it? Born, yeah, middle of lockdown, July the 11th, 5 o'clock 3 o'clock in the afternoon in 2020. You need to have simple YouTube videos. Well, what are you streaming with? OBS? Because that's what I record the videos with these days. I edit them with Premiere Pro, and that's a big difference. Do played, okay. Played 17 days, 0 hours, 26 minutes and 54 seconds. Yeah, here's how it goes for me. A typical 45-minute episode, Let's Build episode, like especially if I'm doing a quest and stuff like that. You got to remember, I can put the whole Sheol quest into a 45-minute episode. You know it takes longer than 45 minutes to do that quest solo. So it might be 3 hours of recording edited down to 45 minutes. So I've got 3 hours of footage. I have to ingest that. Then once it's finished ingesting, we move to editing. The editing can take anything from 3 hours to 5 hours, depending how much how much work I put in, how long it's taking me, how many distractions there are, etc. Then I've got to render it, and the rendering on my rig takes usually about 2 hours or so to render out 45 minutes at that quality. Then I've got to upload it, which takes about an hour. Then YouTube's got to render it out, which takes about another one. It's just like a whole day. It's like an entire day to make one Let's Build a Tomb video. Yeah, with these I just export the VOD directly to YouTube. I mean, sometimes I have to download it and edit it. I had one where I had 3 seconds of music coming across from. I went to go raid Soju, and she had music playing on her stream, and because I started the host and said hi without ending the stream, it caught it on mine. So there's 3 seconds of the music, uploaded that 3-hour raid and whatnot to YouTube, and some company went, we own that music, we now have the rights to your 3-hour video because 3 seconds of our music are in it. So I deleted the video immediately, downloaded it, cut their 3 seconds off and re-uploaded it. So yeah. But yeah, there's parasitic companies out there now that hunt for music. Yeah, it's the copyright laws that are broken, not YouTube's copyright. It's copyright law that's broken. And it's so broken, you get parasitic firms that literally exist simply to invest in buying. They look for music that's on videos that isn't licensed, so it's free to use. Then they go and buy the license for it, and then claim copyright on all those videos and claim all the revenue on those, big videos. That's their business model, leeching off other people's work. So they are not the original composer, producer, or anything to do with the original piece of music, let's say. And then, so they buy the rights to that, and then they didn't create the video they're on. and then they leech the ad revenue from all the work of the person or people that made the video, as well as the original music composer. And I think they're disgusting low forms of life. They really are the lowest of the low. Bottom feeders. But there you are. That's who they are. That's how they operate. And the only way to get around it is just don't put music on your videos that you don't own the rights to publish. Oh, it is shitty. Yeah, it is. But they don't care. They're making a living out of doing it. Making them, yeah. But the way that the YouTube copyright system works is if someone claims and you dispute it, it freezes any money or revenue. In the meantime, goes to... They had to protect their rat. No, long before Disney. The music industry was doing that. Map makers were doing it. But map makers were quite smart about things. They put what in the UK is called a trap street. And what that is they put a road that doesn't exist on their map. And if it turns up in somebody else's map, then that's proof that that person obviously copied your map. Otherwise, why would they put the street there? Yeah, Disney took it to court, yeah. And you can't blame Disney for these people. Those parasites are quite happy to do what they do. For them, it's a legitimate way to make a living. But that's why I use someone tried to copyright my music. Tried to claim that they owned my music. And that one I fought. I said, no, I composed it. I have the original stem cells of the recorded music. It's my creation, it's me playing it. I recorded it, well, I wrote it, played it, recorded it, produced it, engineered it, edited it, and uploaded it, etc., etc., and provided proof. And that person can't use the YouTube platform now. I'm not saying who, but someone did try that. Good luck. That's why I leave little errors in it. Like if you listen to the intro video, you'll notice there's a guitar going at the very end. Right? And that's there deliberately. Because no professional company or record company or music director would ever leave that on a recording. It's a mistake. So that's my trap street. But there you go. So yeah, just don't play music on your YouTube stuff, and you should be okay. And now have an excuse to make mistakes. It's on purpose for copyright. Yeah. Well, crew cop. Yeah. That's why I'm a bit wary of putting the. I mean, I've got the Anarchy logo all over my YouTube videos. It's in the intro as a watermark on the intro piece. But that's okay because I am promoting the game. Oh yeah. People try and steal my stuff. At least twice a year someone will download one of my tutorials and upload it to their channel. Why? And I've seen it, and like YouTube contact me because they pick it up and go, this video is a 100% match for your content, and I go and have a look, you know, because sometimes it catches cutscenes and things in like some of my Skyrim stuff or Warframe stuff especially. I go, no, that's a cutscene, that's fine. Everyone's got that cutscene in their video. That's their video, their thing, not mine. Whatever. And yeah, someone, I had one, the Leak King or something. Someone downloaded it, uploaded it to their channel, and they got like 100 odd views on it, and people were going, oh man, I love your voice, and he was going, thanks dude. I really saw my arse with that. I was like, it's number one, it's not his voice, it's my voice. You know what I mean? Number two, the video is mine. So I just sent a takedown notice, but I did it in the nicest possible way. Like, you have used my video, I'll give you 7 days to get rid of it. Otherwise, YouTube will get rid of it for you. So it's not a copyright strike, but it's a good slap in the face. Like, I will defend myself, sunshine. Don't care who you are, you know. Spawn of evil right there, yeah. There's a case to be made for that, but you know, sometimes you do need one to fight for you, so yes, it's one of those, isn't it? Feels weird fighting these instead of just asking for the guys to come and help. I don't think lawyers are inherently evil, they're just, you know... You've got to remember, people pay them to do what they do, so... Here come the cavalry, yay! Wow, I actually got battle music. Well, you know a circle of hell is rooted from them, yeah. We all go into the rock. We're all going to the rock, apparently. Where are we? I don't know. Nobody's saying anything. I'll just go with the assist macro. If the assist macro says fight something, then yeah. As long as it doesn't say urban trooper, I'll attack. Waiting. Poof. Please wait and pet warp. Well, there we go. Soto Mahoney, for those who are interested, the Council of Truth meeting is going to be for clan side. Is there a location for that, Soto Mahoney? The Council of Truth Tower in Tier. That's the big building next to the Wampers. Can't miss it. Entrance is down at the bottom. If you've got any links for that, Soto, feel free to post them in chat. That's perfectly fine.
times and dates of anything like that, more than welcome to post them here.
I'm trying to tab this little vector in front of me. Yeah, any site links, forums, Discord channel, anything you like, it's fine. Yes, roleplay is fun. You're playing an MMO, so don't worry about anyone thinking you're a nerd. You're playing an online MMO. It's like, too late, you already are, you know. You're playing computer games. Too late. It is cool to be a nerd these days, exactly. It was always cool to be a nerd. Now, there you go. A Dean Landau leader, clan unionist, is also online for the meeting, so you can go and meet some of the legacy leaders of your faction. The T levels, what, testosterone levels. Probably all the oestrogen in the water system. Mihalik, yellow. Yellow, Mihalik, yellow. Just doing the Hodor raid here, farming up my points so that one sunny day I may grab myself an Akadaka. Alien vector die. Good to have you. So, after the end of Hodor, which I think they're only doing these sector raids today, I don't think there's any follow-up to it. Till tomorrow, obviously, and then more shiny stuff, which we'll be doing. We could go off and do a little bit of minor raidage, I don't mind. Need to move away. Right, I think we're done, and I'm not going to be bidding on any loot here, so heading my way out straight away. So if we do want to go off and do anything, we can. It's not too late for everyone. It's 6:20, which is literally about the time I'd normally start. Did I click that? I'm clicking it again. I don't want a Darwin. Yay. Now they all are looking rather splendid in a line. I think that's all it is tonight, isn't it, for Hodor? I'm not bidding on anything in here, so... Tree! This is like how cool the marker is there. Tree! I'm working on part 2 of the Fixer Grid quest. Oh, well, if you want a hand, I'm assuming you probably don't need one, but yeah. I have got 2 fixers. Paid and Froob. Smurf and not Smurf. But yeah, Fixer Grid quest is actually one of the more interesting quests in the game. You know, it gives you that sense of, ooh. I've got to hurry up and get stuff done. It's quite handy to do it with an engineer as well, who can warp you to places. How have I ended up here? I did solo it last time I did it. How the hell have I... Oh, I've clicked on the... Oh, yeah, Thank you for the raid. And leave. There we go. And leave. I'll get kicked out. There's a inmate 47 alien event today. Oh, is there? Anything interesting come up at the COT meeting? Opens his secret spy book. I stood on the warp when I came out, apparently. If you want to know where the Council of Truth building is, I'm going to show you. Well, I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to click on my beacon. Alien event today, yes. So here we are, we're in Tier. It's that big building over there. You think there's going to be an alien raid thing today? That could be cool. So if you're coming by grid, here's the grid exit. Cut through, follow the river, canal, what have you. Cut through. As long as you're looking at this building, you're going to find it. The Wampers are on the other side. Over here. So if you come via the Wampers, typically you'll have come via Old Athen or ICC, you'll come out here. Here is the Council of Truth. And if you hop down, come around this side here, is the entrance. It used to be you had to click on there and you only got in with permission, but now anyone can come in. If you are coming, please follow the OCC guidelines, which is people telling you what you should be doing. So typically a prominent speaker will stand in the centre here. I saw Henry Radiman murdered on this step. You need an invitation now too. There you go. And if you fall in the water, there's the stairs. If in your excitement you manage to fall in. And it's only one way in and out, which you can see on the mini-map. You're in an instanced version of it. Ah, oh, you're there now. Yes, the real play is strong in these ones. No, I'm not going to intrude on that, no. Coming in halfway through is a big distraction and blah, blah, blah. No. If we do that, then... plus, it's a secret meeting of the Council of Truth, and they don't want it broadcasting to everyone, do they? ICC, where frame rates go to die. I want it broadcast. No, you ominous spy. I shall not broadcast for you. Damn you. I swear by my goat helmet I won't betray the clans. Right, Mihalik, where are you up to? You've killed the 3 named Borgs. Damn trousers, yes. We'll have to organise something. Next time there's like a walk around kind of RP event. So is there an actual alien thing tonight? Is there? Is it up at Saloboom in PW? Is it up there, is it? By any chance? It was last time, wasn't it? I mean, honestly, guys, it's a good place to go farm some free alien XP, if nothing else. Yeah, there is a Wampa directly there as well. There you go, it says Perpetual Wastelands, and if we nip in... There we go, we're here. This is I really don't know how to pronounce that. Sabulum. Dear Google Translate. Right. Sabulum. How does that sound?
Sabulum.
Sabulum! Does that sound right to everyone? I'm in Sabulum. Oh, there's people here. I think the first roleplay event I ever went to was here. They spawned Juggernaut. And this was before there was any kind of Wampa to get here. I do remember it. Where's the main entrance? You need to be in a strong kill team to actually get boss loot out here, though. Yeah, I've got an old screenshot. There was no Wampa here, mind you. I'm stood here. The guy called Dark Menace is stood just in front of me. I'm in first person, and the Juggernaut is like humping this building here. The Wampa doesn't exist, by the way, at this point. Salo, what did she? Can't remember what she said now. Salulum is Latin for sand. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? It is a bit of a desert out here. Yeah, so people literally ran from the old grid. So, where is it? There's the camp. Where's the grid? I can't remember. It's anyway. Yeah, so they had to get the grid out to PW and then run across Mort. Oh, there you go, Sentinels. Yeah, so you'd have to go from there, run across here. None of this was here. There was no hope. Run across zone just to get here. And there was no Wampa here either. Or, I think, was the fixer grid a thing then? I think it was, yeah. So you could come there that way. the Funcom devs were all kinds of clever pants when they named stuff from here. Absolutely they were, yeah. But yes, I remember it very, very well. Yes, I do. There's no freelancers anything this week, is there? It's not till tomorrow. And then I'm not sure what it is tomorrow. So does anyone know if there actually is any kind of an alien thing here tonight? Or what have you? Do we know? Do we care? Actually, I'm curious. Sav knows all. Yes. Yeah, like an hour and a half from now, yeah. Ooh. 1135 points now. Ooh. Space Quest is playing AO, so probably soon. Space Quest is playing AO. Who's Space Quest? I don't know this person. Oh, right. Yeah, the only guy I know would be someone I shouldn't mention because... Do you want to do anything, Sav, this evening? It seems we've kind of rolled into when I'm normally streaming. Yeah, we could do something, couldn't we? We could go and try and get a pair of pants. Get you some beast pants. Sounds like a fabulous idea to me. Maybe help Mahalik finish off his fixer quest first. Although if he's done all the mobs, 10 mins or so. Yeah, it's after that bit, it's not that long. We only need a team of people, don't we? For a panned run, and then we can always bring more. So, Inmate 47, I'll join as a DD 220 soldier. Yeah, that helps. More than welcome to. I'll have to find Savik first, though. Actually, I'm gonna go straight to Pandemonium. So I'm running Bitnik's map of Shadowlands at the moment. I think, yeah. It is clearer. I mean, he's done a really good job of this. The only thing I don't like is this blue around everything. I hate it. Everything about the map is better than the old Shadowlands maps, but I don't like that blue. Gotta be honest. But everything else about it is much better. He's even done the interior for Pyramid of Home as well. Which is kind of cool. Trollhammer, I remember back when the first arcade instance I did, one arc suddenly popped up and we were killing the boss and scared the bejesus out of me. I thought it was a big ass boss with that HP, but well, yeah. Because you just would, wouldn't you? You know. Nobody has that kind of HP otherwise. It's midnight. It's supposed to be a field of lava, and then if you go, like, it's the whole map as well. Like, if you look at the other Shadowlands map, the border stuff is so much better. I just wish he'd kept it, that's all. Midnight blue, yeah. I don't know, it'll have a colour. It's as blue as... It's like if you put all the code in to purely have blue in an RGB hex, then yeah, it's that blue. Yeah, I know, absolutely first world problems. It's an aesthetic dislike of just that. That's it. That's the only thing. That's, you know. I know it's nitpicky and petty and everything else to have any kind of issue with it. Come on, creepy spider. I'm going to kill you and give Savik a chance to log in. Did I actually get him with the ring? I don't think I did. Where is he? I don't know. He's probably gone back. How close do you have to be with this ring? Poof, right now he's dotted. Logged in and on looking for team. Yay, top of the list, where you belong. Okay, what I'm going to do is make Sav lead. Because Sav is the boss. We can grab over. So, inmate 47. Yeah, he got him on his own. There's the ads. They gave up. They didn't have the strength to follow. Not my favourite, I'll bring... Well, what do you want to bring? It's a pand raid. Bring anything, you know. Bring what you want to bring. What tune would you like to play? That's the tune you should bring. Well, we'll need a trader for beast, of course. You don't have to, but it is better with it. Yeah, no nuke, no reflects, etc. Just 2 rounds of ads. Yeah, on LFT, put down... Just put Carlos 2, yeah. And we'll know that it's you that wants to come with us. And Mihalik's going to be a few minutes anyway, so there's no major rush. Oh, my DB2 buff has run out. Damn. And a bunch of trash, which I'll leave for the next person. I never empty the corpse. Give the next player a chance to figure it out. You know, who comes along, 15 minutes left on the corpse. It might, I can't remember what the respawn is for that guy. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is. If the corpse is there with loot on it, at least you can figure out when the spawn is, if you know the spawn timer. Is that the spider that drops slippers? Yeah. And they have dropped for me once. The slippers are now on my shade. The slippers of screaming. MP is the coolest prof on paper. Yeah, he can drop the slippers, but usually doesn't. Yeah, pretty much. Everyone says they're bad endgame. I'm not a lover of, being honest. But, you know, that's just me. Right, you see all this blue here? If you look at the old Shadowlands map that I usually use, like this Savik update, look how lovely the edges are. Look, the colour denotes the theme, and then as we look at this lovely buffering he's done around it. The lava fields are coloured in lava. You move through Shadowlands into the cold, how it gradually changes. You know, and then you get past Penumbra, Sheol, the grey murk, and then, you know, around the gardens as well, and then all the way down, and you get to Elysium. It shows you the deep and the shallows. You know, past here, the lights go out, but here's some hecklers for you and everything. I know, it's completely first world problems, but I just prefer that. I know, I'm a terrible person. Especially after Bitnik has done so much work on that map. It's so much more accurate and more detailed. And there's me whinging about the border colour. It's like, here's the best car in the world. Yeah, I don't know about that colour now, mate. I'm being that guy. I'm being a complete arse. The guy's done a brilliant job, you know. Yeah, Savick made the large print version for the Hard of Seeing. Best car in the world in orange. It's like, here's your brand new Ferrari in lemon green. Why? Here's your Lotus Turbo Esprit in vomit yellow. Why? Silly Boys 78. Hellos, Silly Boy 78. Welcome to the stream. Right, while we form up and we wait for Mihalik, who was doing the what's it quest, the grid arm fix a grid part 2 quest. I'm going to go make myself another drink, which means it's time for the intermission music. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. Is that Cal singing? It is not. Yeah. I probably could sing that, actually, if I tried hard enough. I can't whistle, though. And that guy obviously knows how to whistle, whereas I do not. Never been never been able to do it. Does we have a tank? Dun dun dun. What have we got so far? Keeper, doc, soldier, detectorist, grabbing beast daily. Oh yeah, by all means. You can't auto-tune a whistle. Oh, I could sing the vocal line. Ba-da-dum. I could do that. That's easy. That's in my natural speaking range. But I can't whistle now. Never been able to whistle. I could probably teach myself to whistle, but I've just never. My son can. He's perfect, like pitch perfect whistler. And Mrs. Callis too can't whistle either. So he just started whistling one day, and it was perfectly in tune, you know. Yeah, I could. It's sort of freeform as well, the way he does it. Sorry, I'm tied up. Don't worry about it, mate. This was like an afterthought to do something after streaming Hodor. So, honestly, totally cool. If we get plenty of people, it'll be fine anyway. Who wants to tank the beast? Are you doing 2 fixes at once? Oh my god! You're mad, my friend, you are mad. Yeah, I need to do more with these Notum fragment things, and I'm not up to speed on that. I've just figured out emotes and how to do those. I need to figure out how to do Notum fragments as well. However, right now I do not. Tempted to reinstall this game, but my backlog is giving me the stinky eye every time I do. Well, yes, this is the thing. Forgot to ask in guild like a noob. Basically, we've got a tank and a dock. We can do it. 1K plus game in that bar steward, and that's just on Steam. I've got days played just on this tune. I've got a year played on my old main. I'm not sure who's online in Storm at the moment, or what they're doing even. There's only 9 on, like I say. Doc Solo is kind of boxing. Hellslayer, I think, doing the same by the look of it. No sign of Londis at the moment. He might be on elsewhere. Is he on the Storm Discord? Not seeing him. I think he's offline at the moment. Saturday night, he'd be maybe trying to do something fun. Corpse. I just dusted off my AO account after 14 years, no money and no clue how to start. What I would do is, if you've got a slot available, start a brand new character. Start from absolute day one, because over 14 years a lot of new stuff has been added to the game, and concurrently you also can't remember how to do the old stuff. So the way to fix it is you roll a brand new tune, like an MA, Oppie MA, something like that. Something nice and simple, cheap, and just play that character for a couple of weeks. By the end of that 2 weeks, I guarantee you will have remembered so much of the old stuff. You'll be gobsmacked how much that you did know about the game. Hopefully you'll catch up with other people and all the rest of it, and feel confident about logging in one of your bigger tunes that can then support this new tune, etc. That is what I recommend doing. Yeah, Sav said it, the same thing there. Honestly, it's amazing the difference it makes, because the way memory works is quite interesting. It's like the stuff you learned at the beginning of the game when you first played it was the very basics, like moving around, changing the GUI, making hotkeys, uploading nano, you know, what skills to use. And you're doing it on a brand new character, so you're not losing, all the pressure's taken off you, because no one expects you to know anything, because you're on a brand new low-level tune, so they don't think you know how to play the game anyway. So you're kind of taking the pressure off yourself straight away. And it will help you remember, because you'll be going over the stuff that you did back when you first started, and that's sort of how your memory works. And MA is a good one because you don't need to buy any weapons. You can play it without any weapons and be a perfectly viable tune, you know? Sweet Care says, in an inf mission currently, Storm-iPande, yeah, otherwise no. iPande, stream iPande, basically. Not a Storm exclusive. Yeah, you'll get in and remember hotbars, and if you're not sure how to change something in your GUI, F10. When you open it, it's going to look like tiny and like that, and all you want to do is go GUI Control Center. So you can turn things on and off, how many shortcut bars, and then click mini toolbar. There'll be one of these will be unchecked. Check it, and then you get this back. If you want to move things around, you right click the tab near the eye at the top like that. See, you can put it there, and you right click it. You can see it's attached itself to the mouse, and then I can go back and pops it back in there. Except I like the map at the top. There you go. It'll all come back to you, honestly. Where to get weapons and farm XP? Well, you need to go to the daily missions. That's the best way to get XP. Daily missions give you like maximum XP reward for your level. And you can do two of them. One's an elite daily and the other is a regular daily. And if it's a paid account, there's also an alien daily. So there's all that. Like on this tomb, for some reason, I've got these two bars here, which are irrelevant to me now because I can't gain XP or alien knowledge anymore. It's completely full. It's done on this character. There is no more. I was buffing, wasn't I? How far did I get? Don't know. Yeah, you'll get some MA weapons in the subway, although you do outgrow them quite quickly on MA. If you want to know how good your weapon is on an MA, if you're in a guild, you can use your guild bot to do this. If you're not, you can use Zeta Byte, who you will meet as soon as you reach ICC, because they'll spam you, and use the command apostrophe MA fist, all one word, and then the value of your MA skill. So let's say you come out of there and you got 300 MA skill. Like, have I misspelled MA fist then? What a noob. MA fist 300, like that. Martial arts. It shows you what the MA skill is, so your fists as a weapon. So you can see the amount you get. MA skill there. So your fist damage is 55 to 166. If that's higher than any kind of weapon you're using, you should use your fist instead. Anthuma, hey Kalos, hey all. Hey, welcome to the stream. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, so basically if you're starting a new MA, initially don't bother with the weapons you get, just punch things. You're an MA. That's the beauty of it. You don't need anything to fight with. Neb2566, hey Kalos, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. That would be me drinking a cup of tea. Someone just buffed me with Beamoth over there. Who was that? That big guy over there, I think it was it? No. Timid Emph, wherever they just disappeared to. Thanks for the buff. Are you busy right now? Having internet problems? Oh dear. Fingers crossed for you, my dear. Are you over mobile still, or? Yeah, you would. On an MA, you might want sneak attack and fast attack. But there's some good free weapons for that as well. Neb 2566, and I watched the video you told me about and made 1440p work. Awesome! Glad to hear it. Nothing looks better than native resolution. We all know it. My laptop isn't liking the weather. Oh dear. Sav give Maddie 80 a tell, another org mate of mine. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's no rush though, Mihalik, honestly, because the plan was I didn't have a stream scheduled for Saturday anyway. I was just going to do the Hodor run, and then whatever, you know. In fact, I don't even know what the stream title says. I might need to change it actually. Let's have a look. Hodor, yes, let's edit that from Hodor. So we're now doing iPande. There we go. So I've now changed the title of the stream as well. If you hit F5 on your browsers, you will see that it has changed. It no longer says that. Timid M, Sector 42 soon. Oh, are Omni doing it now or something, or what? We has an EMF, yay! Just waiting on Mihalik now, although you could catch us up. Yeah, no sign of Londis. Londis ain't on. Has he ever sent me a tell? He's there. I'm going to ping him and just see. Hey, doing iPande live. There you go. I've sent a tell to Londis, who has the same name everywhere, which makes it so much easier. Yes, it does. I'm just watching the stream and camping spawn spots. Yeah, very interesting stream at the moment. We're just stood here in the same place, all looking at each other. So, yes. You're sitting it out. You want to get those 2 fixes done. Don't worry about it. If you get done and you want to run in at the end or whatever, you're more than welcome. Warped Opinion. Hello all. Hello and welcome to the stream. Yes, we are. We're all here. Warped Opinion. Do you have a bureaucrat tune by any chance? We've now got 2 enforcers. Oh dear. Not at a level to play with you folks. Oh well, okay. Numble a lot. I just reactivated my account. Can I join you on a Dusty Engie? You can, because in iPande, that's how many team slots are actually available. So yes, if you want to come, go LFT Kalos 2 and Sav will be able to pick you up, but you might find yourself in a team of 1, although we've now got 2 enforcers. I think they were both Mihalik's suggestion at the time, and they both clicked yes. Yeah, you can always we'll go nice and steady. We'll do the Zods, let people pick up any side loot they might want, etc. So, you know, no rush. Oh, we're changing. We're having a bit of a swap around. Galileo is coming. Galileo. I can't do the high voice anymore. Well, I can, but it comes out really horrible. You have to use the baby voice to do it. You know, when you virtually, it's like you imagine your voice is only happening behind your nose. Like that. And you can do the Bee Gees sort of sound. It's called your head voice or high voice. It's sort of falsetto is another version, another name for it, I think. And some people have got an incredible range because they've got a strong variant of that. So anybody else wants to join Team 2? So far we have Bean Powered, there's an Angie, who's rusty, he's just reactivated, but he's going to come along anyway. So as long as you can remember how to get to the staging area in Pandemonium. If you go via the Zan area to the middle and you've got your +10 ring, you can warp directly here from there without having to run through Inferno or anything. I went through Inferno because I wanted to kill Creepy Spider again. Everyone wants to be on TV, that's the way you do it. Yeah, there we go. There his Beer Powered. Sorry, Beer Powered is here. Some Crimson Assassins on his Engie. Did you get the shrinking nanos? Did you? I don't think you did. Yes, there you go. So he's got the giant sombrero. I don't know quite what the correct pronunciation of sombrero is. I've always called it a sombrero, which is probably like an anglified, horrible version of it. What is chat talking about? Money for nothing and your chicks for free. Oh, yeah, Dire Straits, money for nothing. That was groundbreaking, you know. That was truly groundbreaking in its day. And that's how you date yourself. What? I'm 50, my friend. I'm in my early 50s. 52 I was this year already. Yeah. I can actually play Money for Nothing. One of the first songs I learned to play on the guitar that, you know. It is rather hard to get the exact tone of the guitar. It's played with the fingers, not with a pick. And it's going through a wah pedal. It's been left about halfway. And every wah pedal is slightly different. So halfway on one is 3/4 on another and 22% on a different one, etc., etc. It depends how they're sorted. We're good to go. Well, let's wait till we're all stood here. Or has Sav already gone in? Rather dark in here, isn't it? Let's try and fix that with good old light command. Who should we try? Should we have Rubicar light? That's a little brighter. Caustic light's awfully blue. Inferno's dark and red. Pandemonium's what we started. Global's weird. SL basic, dark. Then we'll go with Rubicar light. Is that a bit dark on stream for everyone? Sombrero, it's just the Spanish word for hat. Try pronouncing chorizo. Do you not pronounce the CH? Is that a K in Spanish? Is CH a K? It's a K in Italian, isn't it? Oh God. Trying to remember now. That's why no one can say, pronounce half the Spanish, the Italian pastas they buy. They cannot pronounce them correctly. Okay, this dude is proper confused. I'll run it through Google Translate and it'll probably get it in. 34. I was 34 when... No, I wasn't. What was I doing when I was 34? I was a store manager for... Store manager for Staples? I think maybe. Angie, when I was 34, I looked pretty young, you know. People often couldn't believe I was 34. Nowadays, people completely believe me. Go on then, let's get the Zods done. Yes, let's do Zods. Do some Zods too. Just for the hell of it. People might want stuff. I thought you were a female, Sav. She is. I made that mistake of assuming Savik the map maker was a guy. I was wrong. I did a video about how great the new map was and that it was included with the game. And said, and this guy Sav has done all this, and then Sav sort of came to the comments and went, "Hi, yeah, actually, no." Like, oh dear. I am sorry. And it's not even a sexist reason. It's you know how you get people that will roll a tune like a solitous female and wear a bikini and beg for credits. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking. Everyone, you people know what I'm saying here. So my sort of protective instinct is just assume everyone is a bloke playing the game, and that way no one can sort of take advantage of you like that. So it kind of comes from that more than anything else. When I meet people online, I just assume they're a guy, unless they tell me different. You know, mostly men online. That's probably true. Although I have to say, Mrs. Callis 2 used to play as well, but she likes some older games like Pharaoh. You know, where you build pyramids and run a city and all that kind of malarkey. That's more her sort of game, really. She said she wouldn't play now because everyone would know she was Mrs. Callis too. It would do her head in, she says. Because she goes, I guarantee you everyone will go, what? Can you tell me this about Callis? Can you tell Callis I said, rather than talk to her? So she'd have to play like completely anonymously from me, etc. Girls, guys in real life. Yeah. It's just like a safety net. And then the other thing is, do you really treat men and women that differently? And if so, why? The truth is, yes, I do. But I usually treat everybody differently. I treat people according to how I find them, generally speaking. But strangers I treat all the same. Even though I've got like a deep conditioning to sort of be gentlemanly around women. Or at least try to be. You can't be masculine without being toxically masculine. Nothing wrong with being masculine. There is a line that people cross. And the trouble is, a lot of people are naturally masculine and get a lot of flack for being, oh, you're toxic man, you're toxic male. It's like, well, they can be male without being toxic. And the loot is stuff including Virgo's Practical Spirit Helper, which used to be a bit of a thing at one time. And we'll join Cabbage Net so everyone can see what's going on. Tell Cabbage Net, join. There you go. Yeah, toxic masculinity is teenagers not learned how to be males, yeah. Males don't need the limelight. Men don't need to prove they're men. They are men. The proving's been done. That's how they became a man. 30 seconds on the loot roll. Same for women as well, yeah. Same for anybody. Wherever you are on the canvas of how you express yourself. Toxic males living in mum's basement. Yeah, exactly. Wanting to be a protector and a provider is not toxic masculinity. It's human nature. Yeah. Well, Twitter's a bit of a sounding board, but yeah, I mean, there is such a thing as toxic masculinity. No two ways about it. But it's not the same thing as masculinity. Right, people got loot. Next Zod, please. Let's blitz to the next Zod. Are we going to blitz or are we going to kill everything in sight? Well, there's a lot of people on Twitter tend to get a bit too carried away with trending and, you know. People seem to have a problem thinking for themselves and tend to sort of want their opinions given to them, you know, and that's a shame. Social media was a mistake. It's not all bad. No, I think what social media did is it put a huge amplifier on human nature and society. And it kind of opened up the fact that, you know, maybe we're not quite as evolved as a whole as we'd like to think we are, and there's work to do. You know, we're not burning witches anymore, which is good. You know, and all the rest of it. Yeah, right now we are on social media, and MMO is a social platform. Twitch is a social platform as well. You know, so it's Pandora's box anyway, guys. It's too late. You can't close the box. Always pinks first. I mean, that's the thing. Think for yourself, form your opinions based on facts and knowledge. There is no such thing as alternative facts. That's a contradiction. Pandora had a jar. Was it? I thought it was a box. I don't remember the original, you know, fable, tale, parable, whatever it was. Was it a jar, was it? Is it down to how you translate the word to mean book or to mean jar, yeah, or box or jar? Yeah. People are not all bad. The human race is slowly but surely getting better. Most of it comes down. The more travelled and educated you are, generally, the better person you become. And that comes from having more points of reference and having to think about things differently. I am an average person who is trying to be a better person. That's what I am. If your keyboard keeps stopping from working in AO, double check in Device Manager that it hasn't got any power management on. Because Windows 10 will turn on power saving for keyboard, which is diabolical if you're playing a game like Anarchy where you hold the key down to move. It absolutely knackers it. You got a Device Manager, and then you can't even get to it under power management settings. It's a hidden setting under power management. Really annoying. Like you hold down, let's say W to run forward, you take your hand off to stop and you just carry on running forward. That's the power management. Being a troll. Anyway, what I meant to write was, I liked what they said in Men in Black. A person can be smart, but humanity is a dangerous animal. Yeah. That is definitely a thing. The mind of the mob is infantile. The mind of a person can be smart, but people are dumb. Agree. But I always find when I'm in a large crowd, I always feel more alone than I do when I'm in a small group of people. Because I just have and I always have had, a sort of a anti-go with the mob kind of mind. There's an old movie, it's still good now, Quatermass and the Pit. They did quite a good colour version, in the old techno colour or whatever. There's a black and white version, but the colour version is better. It's a better film, where even Quatermass himself is carried away by the mind of the mob, but his one friend, who's a bit of an oddball, isn't. And it's a statement about the mind of the mob and how mob mentality works. The bigger the crowd, well, exactly, yeah. And I think a lot of that, I feel, having worked as a live performer for a long time, when I go to a large gathering of people, it's typically a concert or something like that. And I always feel more of an individual and alone in the concert than I do just generally, I always feel more like the people working the concert, the guys with the earpieces in. I always feel more like one of them than I feel like an attendee at the concert. It's rather odd. It's something we see all the time now, though, and it's not helped by the engine that drives news cycle sites either. It's like Cyberpunk 2077 released, and it was a bit buggy, and it had problems on older consoles, which, and they should probably have waited another year before releasing it, whatever. But people are jumping on this hate wagon. It's like, it's not nearly as bad as like Skyrim is today, 11 years after its release, 10 years after its release, without mods. Skyrim without mods is a piece of trash to play. It's so buggy and awkward and it's never been fixed. No one's on a hate train for that. It's like, oh, flying cows, oh, Bethesda, But every time there's the slightest gram of news about anything happening in Cyberpunk, the way modern media, especially social media platforms, report on it, it's all bells, whistles, dayglow, it's like the 1970s Batman fight scenes is how modern media reports on actual stuff. Kapow, zong, all that big flashing crap all over the screen. That's how modern media tends to represent the news. And people are like, and then everyone jumps on this mob mentality of like, oh my God, I can't believe it's so bad, this game, and blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm on my third playthrough going, it's not bad at all. I've played way worse games than this and still enjoyed them. I've had like one crash, and I am playing on a system that is barely able to play it. And I mean barely able to. I'm on a GTX 980, for God's sake, It hasn't left. I've absolutely loved it, and the storyline, the writing, the world build, just incredible. Really, really loved it. And it's nowhere near as buggy as my experience has been. Nothing like as buggy. Nothing like. Lopnik, I'm doing Inferno missions, so I'm barely here. Okay. I can completely zone out in Inferno missions, though. I mean, seriously, like, he's carrying you, is he? Oh, well, that's a little different, yeah. I mean, I soloed a bunch of research just doing Inferno hards on the Keeper solo. I tell you what makes the biggest difference to gaming performance for me these days is running Windows 10 debloater. You cut all the bloat out of Windows, everything runs. The programs that matter, the programs you actually run so much better, it's unbelievable. You can download it on GitHub, you have to move it, you have to run it as an admin, but you can, like when my system boots up clean and it's finished like starting up, without it, my system's running at 30 to 40% utilization. So I'm only getting 70% of the system's horsepower before I start doing anything else. So the hard drive's busy, the network's busy, the system RAM is busy, etc, etc. But as soon as I run Windows 10 debloater, after Windows is booted, I'm at 4%. Anywhere between 1 and 4%. That's with Discord running. And then suddenly everything else runs a hell of a lot better. You know, you turn off that useless crap and try playing the game and try Cyberpunk again, I bet you it runs a lot better. And if you get the engine tweaks, you can fix bugs. It just enables the console, so it's like playing Skyrim. Tilde key, enter command, fix crap. You can also like give yourself like a gazillion credits and any weapon you want. And, like level 50 with 20 in every possible skill. You know, you can really muck about with it and stuff like that. Yeah, I recommend Windows 10 debloater to absolutely anyone and everyone, especially if you play AO, which being like virtually a single-threaded game runs so much better after Windows debloater. It's unbelievable. It really is so much better. I'll tell you what the interface reminds me of in Windows 10, which I don't use. Yeah, if anybody who is in the stream that wants to come along, you're more than welcome. Halleck, I have got it on PS4 Pro. It's buggy, but it's fine. I have one playthrough, girlfriend's on a third. Yeah, it's an awesome world to play through. And there's so many little hidden side quests and stuff like there was in the Witcher games. And there is, you know, still is in the Witcher games, let's face it. That, you know, you don't get to see it all on one playthrough because of some of the choices you make. You kind of cut yourself off from them. And we've got Taurus. God, I haven't seen Taurus in a while. And what a lot of the media and GameSpot and PC Insider Gamer thing, Yongye and all those people, they make a living by producing media for-profit pieces on current news. And they made a ton of money slagging off Fallout 76 because people loved hating on it. People loved hating on Fallout 76. And they, as companies and production entities, made a lot of money by producing content hating on it. So they did. And Cyberpunk comes along and the slightest whiff of anything wrong and they're doing the same thing again because they're a for-profit company. They're there to turn a profit. They produce news for profit. So you've always got to have that in the back of your mind when you read or hear any news. And there's always going to be the person who's creating that content is always going to have their own bias, you know. Hate sells. Look at mainstream news. Look at any news. We'll get there in the end. Human beings will get there slowly but surely. We get there. I mean, 500 years ago we had the Crusades, the Spanish Inquisition and all that awful business. And we're not there anymore, and that couldn't happen now, really. The outrage machine in the media is nothing new. I mean, some things we should be outraged about. You know, some things are just not acceptable in a modern society. So, you know, there is a place for outrage, but it needs to be, you know. But what you've got to remember is most news corporations now are literally for profit. They only make money from their sponsors and advertisers when they get traffic, and they get traffic by selling you the news they think you want to hear. You don't see this from the Omnitech Press Corp just saying clickbait. Yeah, most modern media now is pretty much that. It is pretty much bloody clickbait. Gamble 007, he's on the wrong... Oh, he's on the other computer. That's what it is. Welcome to the stream. Probably one of the best ones is the BBC, or it used to be. But, you know, because they're not funded by clicks and all the rest of it. So that does help. But slowly but surely, yeah, they are sort of getting a bit more like that. Well, the thing I always go with is follow the money. Always follow the money. You can if you follow the money, you can figure it out. The problem the BBC get is they also are playing a ratings game internally. So they invite outrageous loudmouths onto like debate programs that really have no place there, but they invite them onto there, number one because they're just a loudmouth that wants to make a lot of noise on a platform, and they hand it to them because they know people will tune in to watch them being ridiculous. It's not healthy. Yeah, educate yourself. What was it Frank Zappa said? If you want an education, go to a library. If you want to get laid, go to college. Yeah. Radcar EU. Remember, kids, are you uncertain? You can always Google it. Don't be evil. Omnitech is your friend. Yeah, let's have a night off from all the bloody drama and all the rest of it. That's why we're here, isn't it? On Rubicar. I mean, there's always a bit of tongue-in-cheek stuff between Omni and clans, but the truth is we're exactly the same people. You know. Let's have a look. Oh, we've got Scorpio's Spirit Helper, which is a head item, etc. over there. And a unknown path, I think that was. You're on Rubicar to avoid drama. Man, you're in for a treat. In for a treat in a game I've played for 20 years. I know, it's a great game. It's always a treat. I just don't get involved in the drama. They were quite clever on the Discord chat server. Seems to be drama. Let's neutral at heart, are you? Sensible at heart, but clan. Yeah, if people want drama, they'll find it. I don't. Yeah, PvP Hurt Locker is just like a bunch of teenagers screaming at each other. It's hilarious. But I wouldn't call it drama. Yeah, college teaches you how to study. Depends on the college. My college was like, the lecture was, here's your reading, off you go. Here's your reading, here's your library ticket, get stuck in. I expect a paper in, you know, by the end of the week or month. Now, there were lectures that actually told you stuff as well, obviously. But yeah, it is more about learning how to study. But when we went to school in my era, it was quite different. Like, there was no such thing as multi-choice answers on any exam. Never was. And mathematical questions would be real world constructs. Like, 3 men get onto a train at this time. The train is moving at this speed. 2 get off at this station, and you know, that kind of. So it was like applying, you know, all the mathematical theory that you learned to real world stuff, so it would actually be useful for you. That was like your O-level, your basic high school education. Then high level you went into applied maths, which led to engineering and stuff like that, and physics, and then theoretical math, you know. Yeah, the train was moving at this speed, they got on at this time. What colour was the shirt of the man in the 3rd carriage? After he had had coffee, you know. And you had to, if you weren't sure, you just wrote 42. My parents were pretty cool. They bought me dictionary Thesaurus, or Thesaurus, depending how you want to call it. We call it Thesaurus. And the complete encyclopedia, which was like 23 books, I think, and one of the books was just the index to learn with. That was their attitude to learning. There you go. If you want to know the answer, it'll be in there somewhere. Oh, we got a bit of roleplay going on in the chat. Things were a lot easier when I was going through the Omnitech Reform Academy. Every answer was Omnitech loves you, Omnitech is your friend. There you go. We're going corner. Corner is your friend. Corner loves you. Corner is the way. If you run corner, most of the trash over there, the pinks included, run back. And you're left with less mobs to fight to get to the Night Heart. No, we're going to stand here and fight on the bridge. It's way easier in the corner. Literally, you lose those pink mobs, you lose 2 of these guys, all the ones from over here run back. They reset. pants is being... The answer is always that Omnitech is your friend. Oh, Nightheart's aggroed. Sure, he's bouncing. He's a bouncing. I am getting rather warm. I may have to crack a window open once we get rid of the ads. Come on, folks. Pinks. Alright, cracking the window. I'm too hot. Hopefully I'll cool the room down a little bit. Yeah, I could start to feel my arms getting wet. I'm really not doing any exercise here. I'm just talking and playing Anarchy online. So not exactly exerting myself. Oh, I can feel the cool air coming down past my legs. Oh, that's better. Hopefully it'll remain quiet outside the window and we don't get, you know, all manner of noise. Got room for an omelette? Always got room, my friend. Just go LFT and put Kalos 2 there. If Sav is able to, she'll grab you in between healing everyone. Omnitech is your friend reminds me of that movie where the Walmart greetings says, oh, the greeter, yeah, says he loves you as you enter. Yeah, when Walmart bought Asda in the UK, it now belongs to another company. But when they bought it in the UK, they started putting all that sort of stuff in, and in the UK, it just culturally were just that little bit different. That when they did it, we were like, you know what? Leave me alone. I don't know you. Yeah, the greeter. I know exactly what you mean. And it's one Americanism that didn't take on, didn't really take off in the UK. I think we're too sort of prudish for that, you know. There's something in our sort of mild-mannered culture, or whatever you want to call it, that it didn't translate somehow. Nothing wrong with it in principle, you know. And he's down. Sav, can you grab any Sims? Is there a belt by any chance? No belt, but there's some seeds. Have you got a bag, Sav? Thanks. We'll do implants at the beast. I mean, especially in Wales. You've got someone at the front door welcoming people in Wales. And the first thing a Welsh person is going to say, this isn't a cult, is it? This isn't a cult. You haven't set up a cult in here, have you? We'll have none of that here. No, thank you. I go to chapel. doing L corner with the enforcer. It depends where you are in the US. Yeah, the UK's a bit more... might not thump them, but we would go look at them very sternly and walk away without saying a word. And next time coming in would sort of like try and find the door that will avoid them and use that. Mouse, where are you? Click on the pink, thank you very much. Now I can kill it. Oh, I've been warped to his feet. I'm okay though. He's alright, folks. I picked on me. You can go fight them at his feet if you want. Yeah, Walmart loves you. I'm sure that board of... corporate board does not love anyone except their shareholders and their profits. Yeah, you can't blame the shop assistants though, my dude. And I've been one, and I know you are forced to do that as part of your job. It's awful. Yeah. They go overboard with it though. You walk into the equivalent of Walmart over here, and unless you're doing something wrong, the staff won't approach you. They threw out the greeter and all that when after Walmart sold it on, because they tried to like sack everybody and rehire them on worse contracts. And as a store, even though they didn't have a union, they acted like one and acted as one unit and just said no, we won't do it, and we'll go to our local politicians or what have you. And trying to stun it. Don't you dare heal. There you go. And yeah, they had to back down, and then they sold it because it wouldn't work. But yeah, that whole having to ask you questions and all that, it's usually in the what they call, see, somewhere like an Asda or a Walmart or something. If you're going in there to buy food, like your groceries, the stuff you have to buy, they're much more relaxed about that. They just want to keep everything working, make sure the stuff is there for you to buy. They won't ask you to buy extra crap at the counter when you come to pay. They just let you get in and get out because they know in the UK that's what you want to do. But when you go to a discretionary spend, which is a store that sells TVs, anything like that, furniture, anywhere where it's stuff that you don't need to buy every month, then they're much more on you for the hard sell kind of approach. And the poor guys that have to ask you, yeah, clothing stores are kind of like that. I mean, the super discount ones, not so much. Clothing stores, attendance in clothing stores. Oh my god, wall of text. Either know what I want. Oh, and a bling I can't read. Esports Dew LL has followed. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, they are kind of like shoehorned into doing it, and they have to work on KPIs, which is abbreviation of key performance indicators. So they manipulate the staff into doing all this with KPIs. All your KPIs aren't looking good. See how you look at the next one. They've got them all employed on a 0-hour contract. So if their KPIs aren't where the regional manager or the store manager wants them, then they get less and less hours. But they can't leave the job, because if they leave the job, they can't get unemployment because they left it. Gwynchlew, I hate KPI. Yes, exactly. It is evil, spawn of Satan. Clothing store attendants in clothing stores either know what you want and whatever you want. Leave me alone or I'll ask you for help. Stop ragging. Yeah, exactly. I'm an old esports Dew. I'm an old player named Fixer01. I remember that name. Been playing since the release of AO and been watching you like 2-3 years. This game brings back so much. Oh my god, there's so much text in chat. This game brings so much good memories, to be honest, when Omni raided Beast with 40 to 150 people in the raid. Yeah, exactly. Nice that someone giving joy to viewers, bringing lots of good memories. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And the follow. Gwen Clough. Oh my god, I hate KPI. You and everyone that's ever had to deal with them. Radcar, how's the KPI if the item get returned? Is it affected? It is if you're middle management. So if you're like a key holder, the guy they call to do returns, one of your KPIs is turning the straight refund. Yeah, one of your KPIs is turning that straight refund into an exchange. Keep the money in the business. That's one of your KPIs. But the guy that sold it in the first place, it can do. If you've missold something to somebody. Now, under UK law, people keep quoting fit for purpose like they think they know what that is, but they're in fact only quoting half a sentence. The full sentence is fit for the purpose described. So if you buy a pair of shoes and go, these aren't fit for purpose, you say, well, where you sold them as something to put on your feet, or where you sold them as gloves. If someone sells you a computer mouse as a computer mouse, it is fit for purpose. If it is sold to you as a spin dryer, then no, it isn't. That's what fit for purpose means. A lot of people misuse that to try and get returns out of companies. But the companies that have the least returns are in fact the companies that have no quibble. That's what we found in the UK. If you're a company that says you can return an item you bought for any reason within 28 days, that's it, because that's the law of the land and we're not going to try and change it. Those companies, instead of chasing after keeping money in business, instead of forcing middle management, so the key holders and people doing twice the work for 10% more pay in those places, they're then told, well, what you do is make sure your team is selling the correct item in the first place. Train your team to make sure the sale is correct. And they found that doing it that way, rather than chasing, bonuses and all this, mis-selling in order to boost sales, that they actually made more money by educating their staff into selling the right product for the right reason. Because people stopped bringing stuff back because they'd ended up with what they want. I want a telly this big that does this. Well, there's 3 models that can do that, sir. Blah 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 blah. And they get they get the TV or whatever that does what they asked. Then they come home and go, and there's no reason to return it unless, it's faulty. And if it's faulty, they just go, oh, well, would you like a replacement? Or would you like to swap to a different model? Yada yada, And the companies that actually went that route are the ones that are still traded. PC World started doing it, like Currys. But the other companies, like, what are they called? Comet, they stopped, they carried on with this KPI method, and they're the ones that went bum. Because people just went, you know what, screw you guys, I'll go to the competition. Because if I don't like it, I can get a return. Plus, what generally happened in the other stores where people were going like this, and I'm not saying that's in every store, I'm sure in Comet there were plenty of people working there that tried to sell the right thing. But, a lot of big box stores didn't, and a lot of big box stores have disappeared. We've got to the beast, Mihalik, and Mihalik has come in at the 11th hour. We're going to wait for Mihalik to get here. I mean, when I worked for Maplin, and I remember we sold satellite systems to people, and one little clutch of people, they were Polish actually, they were lovely people, but they bought a satellite and they brought it back saying it doesn't work. I put it next to the aerial in the loft, which is like the attic for Americans. It was like, no, you can't have it in the loft, it's got to be outside. It couldn't see through a snowball, let alone roof tiles, and you know. And they went mental about, no, you've got to refund it, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I can, but it doesn't matter what you buy, it won't work inside your thing. Yes, it will. It's, okay. You want to believe it. And eventually they came back and said, I look on internet, you are right, you understand these things. I went, yes. Omnitech doesn't have KPIs. Oh, it does. You have to love Omnitech. Ah, you see? You see? You have to love Omnitech back. Ah, North Korea has KPI, yes. Yeah. Well, some countries are, you know, we're all on the same train. Some companies are on different stops. That's all I'll say. And people point at Korea and go, see, that's what communism does. It's like, that is a monarchy. That is not communism. Handing executive control of the country via bloodline is called a monarchy, not a democracy, and definitely not communism. All right, who's the next leader? My son. Okay, that's not communism, that's mismanagement. Well, it's not. That is literally a monarchy when you're passing over executive control of the entire country to one person via bloodline. That's a monarchy. It's like the two blokes in the Holy Grail, like scraping mud out the field. Just because some watery tar hands you a sword doesn't give you the right to wield executive power for the masses. Right, are we all, or did Mihalik... Oh, no. Oh, there he is. Mihalik has made it. Dictatorship. Yeah, exactly. Well, a monarchy is essentially a kind of dictatorship, although most modern monarchies aren't. You know, they take a back seat, so to speak. Do you remember Artemir? Oh, yeah. We accidentally aggroed the beast on one of the biggest raids ever. Over 200 people were insta-wiped, and our team got the kill with Marbeth, Inner Circle, and all bid on nice stuff. I remember the drama at the beast. I do remember that. China is a corpocracy. It's a country owned by corporations, albeit Chinese corporations, but it's owned by the corporations. Mercantile, authoritarian, oligarchy. Yeah, but that's it. No more elections. I'm the boss. Look at what's happened to Russia. When Putin started off in Russia, he was this sort of like semi-docile looking bloke in a woolly sweater and no tie, saying, "Oh, we don't want to go back to the old ways of soldiers running the country." You know, a little later we find out, oh well, he's ex-KGB, and then the suit and tie starts appearing, and yeah, well, I don't want to say too much because he's a scary guy. Yeah, the problem is, you see, is power corrupts. So the people that are elected to run things end up getting used to being in charge and start thinking, well, you know, I think I should stay in charge, and then abuse the system to do so. That's generally what happens. I mean, democracy isn't perfect, and it never will be perfect, but we keep trying. That's the important thing. Keep trying to get representation correct, you know. Any other pinks anywhere? That one's dead, isn't it? Yep. I'll go for the one that's going for the tank. Get off the tank. Dave 3 of 5, welcome to the stream. Londis, belated ahoy. Ahoy there, shipmate. Yeah, we've been going for 3.5 hours, but I did an hour of, like, whatever, an hour and whatever of Hodor first, so I was just doing I didn't do any loot, I just wanted to get the points kind of thing. Omnitech is your friend. Stop resisting! Stop resisting, Omnitech! Damn, now bringing the memories. The big level 300 elite in Borealis when it stopped for the first drop for the first time. G2 pistols, like, oh wow, OP, and then trying to wipe them out by bringing the flag, but once again Inner Circle 1. Lots of trophies for Omnitech. Well, yeah, maybe. I remember midnight reveries, KSing people in their own cities, and doing the same at the Beast. Like, actually, when there was no iPande, there was only actual Pand. Then blitzing to the Beast room with a flag, ganking all the healers, and if that didn't work, hanging in the room and ninja looting the corpse. I remember someone came back on the forums talking about the glory days of midnight reveries and what a fabulous guild they were, and someone pulled up an old post of them being banned. Disbanded and banned. The entire guild. It's like, oh dear. You can't fix people, so instead, iPande. There you go, you've got your own little pandemonium to play in. You can't play nice, there you go. Between 2006 and sort of 2012, I kind of became very casual. I'd sort of play 1 month out of a year, so I missed a lot of that. iPande brought to you by Omnitech. You had players not even talking to each other on the phone. Oh, there was some real world grievances, yeah. It got dragged into the real world quite often. I just, when people started multi-boxing in PvP, clan, neutral and Omni, as soon as they were doing that, I just went, game over, not interested. PvP doesn't exist. And just haven't been interested in it since. Yeah, I was always there. Target number 1. Fours and Dark 1947. There was like never-ending battling clan fellows, always planning some bad ideas. Okay. Let's have a look at the Beast. No pants for you, but there are 2 shoulder pads, a helm and various weapons. There's also a lighter side, which I will be bidding on. Not much of a scream. Yeah, I've got to be... It's where the camera is what I've realised. If you're near to where the camera is, you'll hear it. It's weird. When I first killed the Beast, I was still playing in first person, so the first time I heard it, it was like, oh my god. You know. I think I dug out the actual file for it once. I got a message from Londis on Discord. Ah, balls. Just got back home. From 2001 till about 2003, I played first person. Looks like that, mate. And it runs faster, because it's one less person being drawn. So back when we had single core processors and a Voodoo 3 with 128 mega RAM, it was practical. Imagine doing a pan raid with everybody turned into elite. Kingster uses trailing camera. Oh my god, you do something different from me. Rolling on the floor laughing while actually managing to type that onto a keyboard. That's a much longer set of letters though, really, when you think about it. Well, yeah, the less draw calls it has, the faster it runs. Like, if I look at my feet, there you go. 47, 48 frames a second. Straight up, I get 54 frames a second because there's nothing there to draw. You know, I had a Voodoo 3, which was an AGP card. I went to third person only after I saw a friend of mine in London. I went down to meet him, Cybershed. And he was playing in third person. I was like, oh, well, you can see a lot more like that. And by then I had a GeForce 3, I think. Maybe a GeForce 4, actually. And yeah, it was pretty cool. There you go, people have won things. If you look at the minimum specs, yeah, people would run it. Yeah, but you got to remember, in 2001, people's average people were running in, like, you know, 1024 by 728 or whatever it was in 3x4 aspect ratio. Yeah, the Voodoo cards that were massive were the 4 and 5s because it was 2 cards on one board. The Voodoo 3, by today's standard, was actually a reasonable size card. And I can't even remember how much video memory that had. I remember getting a 64 megabyte card was my first NVIDIA card. I remember upgrading to that and going, wow, I can run at the native resolution of my CRT monitor. Yeah, the Titan of the 2000s. Yeah, exactly. It was impressive in its time, but that's it, you see. They keep going down in how many nanometers they can do and everything else. It's pretty cool. Oh dear. Well, that's been a fairly long stream, but pretty cool anyway. I didn't bid because, you know, it's my stream, so, and a lot of mixed people in, so running Quake in high res back when it was like manna from the gods. Yeah. I remember Unreal Tournament I used to play. Rather than Quake, I preferred Unreal. Used to play Instagib matches. Everyone had the same weapon, infinite ammo, and it was just who can shoot who. It's free on GOG as well. On GOG, you can get the original Unreal Tournament for free. It's like 600 meg, the entire thing. It's like, do you remember when games were 600 meg instead of your video card driver? Video card drivers used to be like 28k, you know, and a file you had to install manually. Now they're like the size of a CD worth of data. And I used to play that with a ball mouse. Games are 100 and something gigabyte. Yeah, I know. Nuts. But, you know, you want 4K textures and you want a big world, well... Not even small indie games are that smell now. That's a brilliant typo. I love it. All right then, Sav and gang. Are you... is it time for your booble bath? Sav, or how are you doing? Indie games are not that smell anymore. They're quite good, actually. That's going to become a new emote. Your game smells. I don't like your game smell. Can you smell my dinner, says Gamel11111. He's now on his other computer because he's now Gamel11111 instead of Gamel0007. You're going to head off once all the bidding is done. Okay, very cool. But it has been fun. Tomorrow is the big Hodor. The big Hodor of Sector 42, I think, tomorrow. Which I will be doing. So, yeah. Yeah, I've not eaten yet. Well, I had like a sandwich at lunchtime. But yeah, time for proper food, etc. Right, is anyone else doing the AO streamage? Lopnik, are you streaming as well, or what are we doing? So I'll go raid someone with all these wonderful people. Let's have a look. There's Kron, but he hates being raided apparently, so... who else might be on? What about good old Che? Che is not on. Kia. It's Kia. Oh, hang on. Bling. Oh, what? Numble-a-lot has resubscribed Prime. Thanks very much for the resub, Numble-a-lot. That's quite a mouthful. Thank you very much. No, they're not streaming. I can't find anyone streaming. Oh, that's the bloody advert. Shut up. Who else? Scott not? No, he's been doing Elite Dangerous of late, so I don't know. Oh, he's hosting me anyway. Oh god. Well, I think it's going to have to be, even though Crone doesn't like people raiding him, I'm going to go raid Crone, I think. Because he doesn't like entertaining people. So thank you very much all. I shall send you all across. It is Anarchy Online. He's in Penumbra by the look of it. And I will see you all tomorrow. So all go and join in and annoy Crone because he doesn't like being raided. So yeah. Okay all. Thanks very much. And thanks to all the raiders. Thanks for the resubs and the followers. And bye for now.